everyone, and welcome back. If you're new, my name is Cassie Essery, and this is Learn With Us. Today I'm doing another this month in first grade, but for the month of January. Yes, I know, we're a week into February. Whatever. This month in first grade, where I tell you all of the hilarious things that my students have been saying. But before I get started, if you're new, consider subscribing down below. It's free, and I make videos for teachers. So if you're a teacher, you might like it. So we're gonna start it off strong with some math today. In the morning during calendar, we do a lot of Number I Spy, where a kid gets to pick a number and everybody asks them questions about it. Well, one little darling asked, "Is your number odd?" To which the boy replied, "Not really." We've been working a lot with fractions, just starting them off, starting off strong with whole, half, thirds, and fourths. And the best way to help them see this is to use the analogy of food. Splitting up food, whether it's like a quesadilla or a pizza or a cake or a pie, whatever it is, they had to decide which they would prefer. Now, don't get me wrong, a bunch of kids, of course, wanted the whole cake to themselves, because why wouldn't you want a whole cake? But you would be surprised how many kids chose the fourth, and I'll tell you why. Because of all of this with quarantine and not being in person with school, they decided that they wanted the one with the fourth, because even though it was the smallest piece of cake they would get, then they would get to share it with their friends. Isn't that so sweet? I know. Okay, so if you've ever interacted with children, ever, you know that they like to be in charge. A lot of the time, they like to tell people what to do, which is a great skill to have, delegating and all of that. It'll come in handy later, but not exactly right now. So we've had a few kids coming into school for support, and one little boy really loves to tell everybody else what to do. What's new, right? So we're about to split off into our different reading groups with different specialists. So of course, when one boy moved to a new group, the one who wanted to be in charge decides to shout, "No, you don't go there!" To which the sweetest and softest girl comes up to him, just like this, puts her hand out and says, "Oh yes, he does." And she took the boy by the hand and walked him to class with her. You go, girl. Is it bad that I have a little bit of feeling of satisfaction when that happens? So same thing, if you've ever interacted with children, you know that you pretty much quote the same few kids because some of them are just so funny. So here we go again with the boy who loves to tell everybody what to do. We were walking through the hallway and one of the aides was up trying to staple something to the wall. And you could tell she was struggling because this is not easy doing all of this. To which one of the students decides to let her know, "You're way too old to be doing that." I'm pretty sure she's like 36, which is what made it even more hilarious. So then again, parents, whatever you say at home, it comes to school. Because we know they're not just making this stuff up. Well, shall I say, sometimes. No idea where that comes from. But that one was all you. But since you mentioned it, let's talk about the things that they do make up. Stories. And sometimes their logic. It's fascinating and usually just humorous. So one of the moms actually told me this story, so I didn't overhear it, but it is from one of my first graders, so there you go. They're sitting at the dinner table and he announces, "When I first met Mrs. Essery, I thought she was married to Mr. Brill," one of the other first grade teachers, "because they both have dogs." That could make sense. I got a good laugh out of that one. Another one of my students was sharing some plans that they had for a family vacation, that they were going to go dog sledding. Okay, first time out. Dog sledding? That sounds awesome. I want to do that, right? Yeah. So they were going to go dog sledding in Mexico. Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. I don't think it... Are you sure? His mom later informed me that they are going to Montana. That makes more sense. Okay, and the last one for today was inspired by our science lesson on the life cycle of a butterfly. I know, an oldie but a goldie, right? You gotta do it. So one of my students had actually had caterpillars last year that turned into butterflies, so she was telling us all about them. So she starts listing off their names super casually. Monarch, Cozy, Jewel, and Kathy. Children are the best. Are they not? I don't know about you, but they just bring so much joy to my life, and that's part of the reason that I wanted to be a teacher, was so that I could work with kids. Also, the kids are coming back in a couple weeks for hybrid learning, so they're gonna be in the classroom. My classroom is a mess, by the way. So I'm just gonna tell you, it is a hot mess. So if your classroom's a mess, it's all good, people. But anyways, the kids are coming back, and so I will have even more great stories to tell you. I think if we had regular class, I could probably make one of these videos every week, like this week in first grade, because they are so funny. Kids are just, they're amazing. They're just so great, and I love my job. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope that this gave you a laugh and was just a little bright spot in your day. So anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!